Himanshu, I am in a live session. Yeah. Right. Right. Hello, everyone. Myself, Professor Pankaj Biswas. I am live now. If you have any queries, anything in your mind, you can ask me. I think there is no questions right now. Yeah. Uh, Saurabh Wag, then Gobind Kumar. They are asking when it will be live. It is already live now. Okay. Govind Kumar, good evening, bhai. If you have any question, any queries in your mind, you can ask me. Actually, first of all, I want to introduce about this course. Actually, you are well familiar about this course. That's why what happens as a huge response I got in this relearn course itself. I have seen actually there are around 4,000 students joined in this course. So out of this 4,000 students, actually I have seen they are very much interested in this course. Almost all the students are very much interested in this course. Really, this course is a very interesting course about welding technology. As the name implies, the name of this course is in Fundamental of Welding Science and Technology. Here I try to explain the detailed fundamentals of welding science and technology. Hello. Okay. So in this course, actually, I used to discuss about the basic fundamentals of those welding techniques which are widely applied in manufacturing industry. Like you will see the application of different commercially available, or you can say different conventional welding techniques, especially the fusion welding techniques, which are widely used in industry, that related that related different welding techniques details I explain in this course. Apart from this thing, in this course I discuss about the detailed principle, detailed physics about the welding processes, especially those processes which are widely used in manufacturing field. So if you have any queries, anything in your mind, you can ask me. Like Akhilesh Kumar, he asks, sir, for whom this welding course is. Sir, can we get assignment question in main exam? Yes, Shai Ganesh. First of all, I am answering Akhilesh Kumar queries. Generally, for this course, generally I have designed in such a way where you can say from BTech level student to that means UG level student to PG level student can join in this course. Because in this course, whatever the details I explain, that details is related to, you can say, fundamentals of welding techniques. Because this fundamental is not only required for BTech level, this fundamental is required for all level of participants, you can say. Because this fundamental knowledge is required for a BTech level, that means UG level student, as well as who is interested to do what it's called um, research in future. For them also this course is highly essential. What I'm telling, understand. That's why this course has huge importance, that you can say. So this course is not only applicable for UG level, this course can take by UG, PG, industrial participant, because in this course you will get the all fundamental things related to very conventional types of welding techniques. What I'm telling, understand? Then second question asked by yes, Shaurav Govind Kumar. Govind Kumar, when will it start? Then second question is asked by what precaution to take while welding of start. Yes, Shanjit, generally metallurgy, he asked a question, sir, what precaution to take while welding of stainless steel? It's a very interesting question. You should always keep this thing in mind. When you go for doing stainless steel types of welding, first of all, you should know what is stainless steel and what are the main composition in stainless steel. Stainless steel is defined in this way. Generally, once in a steel where there are alloying composition, you can say alloying composition, especially chromium. If the chromium percentage goes beyond 11%, then what happens? Over the surface of this steel, you can say there is developed a what it's called stain layer. That's why what happened, this stain layer protect this steel from outside environmental contamination. That means corrosion types of things. So once in a material the chromium percentage is more than 11%, then generally you can say you can consider that types of steel material is called stainless steel. So one of the major problem of stainless steel welding is when you do the welding, then what happens, some sort of chromium carbide formation is taken place due to this intense heat during welding process. That chromium carbide generally deposited or accumulate around the boundary of fusion zone, that is in you can say heat affected zone. That generally create a huge problem for doing stainless steel welding, because for doing stainless steel welding, in the sense stainless steel welded product, you can say that chromium carbide creates a huge problem. That's why what happens when you go for doing stainless steel welding, there are some especially designed welding techniques are available, where generally the polarity that you will learn, actually you have just now started in this course. In this course also I have explained how aluminum, stainless steel and all other different materials you can weld by using different types of welding technique. Which welding techniques is applicable for what material, that related thing also you will get from this course. What I'm telling, understand? Especially for stainless steel welding, you will find that TIG welding is most preferable one, you can say. Apart from TIG welding, you can use some other welding techniques also, like what happens me is saw welding technique. But for that, there is some compatible, you should decide with compatible electrode. But in case of TIG welding, there are not there is not require any consumable types of electrode, you know. Okay, so compatible filler wire is required. This you should keep it in mind. Once the filler wire and other things is not appropriate for doing stainless steel welding, then there will be different types of issue, because due to this carbide formation and all the things, there is a chance of crack initiation and crack propagation types of phenomena. That means welding can be a defective one. This you should keep it in mind. That's why during welding of stainless steel, you should have some compatible types of electrode, as well as you should choose some what it's called welding techniques which is more widely used in stainless steel types of application, because that welding techniques is designed for that types of welding, that types of material itself. Like one of the welding techniques I have told you, generally for doing stainless steel TIG welding is widely used. And here always you should keep it in mind, for stainless steel, this what it's called surrounding shielding gas also has a important role also. That surrounding shielding gas related things also I explain in this course in details. What should be the polarity for doing stainless steel welding? What should be, whether there will be required any preheating or post-heating types of things or not? That related thing also I explain in detail in this course. So once you'll go through this course, you will get the detailed idea about how you can do stainless steel welding techniques. Just now, as it is the beginning, that's why I am just telling you. For doing stainless steel, we generally use that GTAW welding techniques widely. Apart from GTAW welding technique, you can use other welding techniques also. What I'm telling, understand? What I have told you. For that, generally, you should decide appropriate polarity, appropriate shielding gas, appropriate flux type if you use submerged arc welding, appropriate whether there will be required any preheating or post-heating types of heat treatment phenomena or not. That things is required to know. So that related things I explain in this course. Okay. So once you'll go through this course, means slowly you will learn everything. Okay. Now, yeah, stainless steel, this I have told you little bit. Okay, Sanjit. Now, Akhilesh, sir, for whom this welding course is applicable, I have already told you this course is applicable for UG as well as PG, as well as industrial participant, as well as even PhD who are doing PhD types of research work, they can join in this course. Shai Ganesh sir, can we get assignment question in main exam? The question pattern of assignment will be more or less similar. The question pattern, this you should keep it in mind. The question pattern will be generally in MCQ as well as some mathematical types of question will be there. Once you'll go through this assignment pattern, the question in final exam also will be more or less same. But the question will be not only based on theory, there will be some fundamental calculation related things question. That means from mathematical or you can say some analytical types of question also will be there. Okay. Ricky Kumar, in assignment 2 of flare groove weld, all 4 options are not correct. Okay, that we will definitely talk to my what it's called TA. He will explain it. Definitely, I am noting it down. I mean noting it down. In assignment 2, flare groove, well, 4 option is okay. I'll just are not correct. I will tell my what it's called TA to correct it. Okay. If it will not be correct, mark will be provided all of you. Okay. Ravindra Singh Shekhawat, what will be the format of main exam? Format of main exam will be generally MCQ types of question. This you should just keep it in mind. But what I have already told you, Ravindra, this question will be theoretical as well as numerical types of question also. Shanjit asked how to decide whether we choose DCEN and or DC. Very good question. Shanjit, I think you have some prerequisition, and that means you have some idea about welding technique. That's why you are asking very good question. Everything you will get actually. This DCEP, DCEN, this every idea I have explained in details in my course. You see, always you should keep it in mind. Generally, for first of all, DCEN means direct current electrode negative. What I am telling, understand? DCEN means direct current electrode negative. Little bit, I am drawing the thing, then it will be more clear to you, very clear to you. That's why you see, I am just sharing my window. So that will be very much helpful to you. Okay. So in this window, I am just little bit drawing this. Let us consider this is the plate and this is the electrode. Okay. Now generally, so this is, I'm writing, it will be very clear to you. This is electrode and this is let's workpiece. Now you see electrode, once DCEP means direct current electrode negative. ECA is DCEN means here negative polarity. This you should keep it in mind. That means this is DCEN polarity. Now you see, once the what it's called, once the electrode is connected with negative polarity, then whatever the electron here will be generated, electron E has negative polarity, correct? So if the electron has negative polarity, then this electron at DCEN means electrode is negative and workpiece is positive. This you should keep it in mind. Workpiece is, this is positive polarity. Okay, this is generally positive polarity. You should keep this thing in mind. Now for DCEN, generally whatever the electron is generating, that electron is attracted. Whatever the electron is generated in electrode, that means in this region, whatever the electrode will be generated. Okay, 1 minute. Whatever the electrode will be generated here. Okay, here whatever the electrode will be generated, that electrode generally will be moved from generally will be attracted by, you can say, will be attracted by this workpiece. So what happens? This electron, once it's attracted by the electron, it's generally goes through a, you can see, is generally goes through a gap. In this gap, generally there is a velocity gradient. In details, I explain these things in physics of welding. Again, here little bit I am explaining. So this electron generally, once it's attracted by the workpiece, generally this electron, once it hit the workpiece, there occurs some bombardment of this electron, you can say. Due to this, you can say in workpiece, during DCEN, in workpiece, around 66 to 70%, I am writing 70% of heat is generated in workpiece. And what happens, as it is a negative polarity, whatever the ion is there in between this gap, whatever the ion is there in between this arc region, you can say, in between this arc region, whatever the ion is there, this ion, this is actually arc. Okay, this ion generally attracted by what? This ion generally attracted by this electrode. Okay, so this, due to this attraction of this ion in electrode, there also creates some heat. That percentage of heat in electrode is around 30%, you can say. Around how much percent? 30%. So 30% heat is generated, you can say, in electrode during DCEN. Okay, so you see, always you should keep it in mind. Once your electrode is consumable types means electrode is melted, droplet is formed, and it deposited. These types of combination, once you have, then what happens? That means if your electrode is consumable type, then DCEN polarity is not preferable, because you see less heat is generated in electrode. Okay, because if you want that your electrode should melt, then what happens? What should be the polarity there? So if you want your electrode should melt and deposited, then more heat you want to generate in your electrode. So to get more heat generation in electrode, your polarity should be opposite. That means it should be DCEP, electrode positive. So that's why you should keep this thing in mind. That means in detail I have explained these things in physics of welding in this course itself. You will get detailed idea about this thing. That's why for consumable types of electrode, DCEP is preferable. But if the electrode is non-consumable electrode is used in case of what? In case of TIG welding process. So in case of TIG welding process, or you can say GTAW welding process, generally this DCEN is preferable. TIG welding process, TIG. These things in details or TIG are more preferable. It is widely applicable name is GTAW. What I'm telling you, gas tungsten arc welding process. For there, generally DCEN is used, whereas DCEP polarity generally used for consumable types of electrode like submerged arc welding process, MIG welding process, or GMAW welding process. This thing you should keep it in mind. Okay. Now, I'm sharing this, then that will be better. So you see, the next question asks, Sanjit, I think it is clear to you. Govind Kumar, how to read it to get good marks? Yeah, actually, Govind, welding is a very vast subject, you can say. So, what I want to say here, you just go through my course thoroughly. What I'm telling, understand? You go through my course thoroughly, whatever the things I am just teaching now. You go through that things thoroughly. Apart from thing, apart from this, actually, I have provided some what is called textbook as well as reference books in this course that you can see. So you go through that textbook also. So you will get the detailed idea about whatever the thing generally required to know for this course to get good marks. But I am just telling one thing, whatever the lectures I provided, generally apart from this thing during this lecture, whatever the fundamental concept I provided to you, you carefully go through that things only, and I am sure you will be a very good expert in this welding field. And if you go through very attentively about my lecture notes or about my lectures slide itself, you will get almost 100% you can say question from that note itself. What I'm telling under from that lecture note itself. Okay. And some fundamental things like some mathematical types of problem which I will generally solve. That mathematical types of problem related things also I used to explain when I used to teach during lecture hour. So attentively you go through my lecture note, my lecture video, you will get most of the thing, Govinda. Okay. Bhaskar Kumar asks, sir, does field weld symbol is related to welding machine fixed or portable? Yeah, very good question. Yes, you can say like that. Okay. Like for generally field weld symbol means let's you are interested to do the welding in a particular location. So in that location, that means for field weld symbol is required to put where generally you are installed your welding machine in a field. What I'm telling, understand? So that can be portable, that can be what you got when fixed on also. Fixed on also generally for portable one, you can say field symbol is used. What I'm telling, but what happens that fixed on also you can transfer from one place to another place also. What I'm telling, understand? Bhaskar, it is clearly mentioned there for field symbol generally where generally we used to install the machine at that location generally where we used to do the welding operation. So installation position to represent the installation position or installation field, we use that symbol. Akhilesh Kumar, sir, while welding, how harmful is the smoke coming out of the okay, very good question, Akhilesh. So about this smoke related things I have discussed in details in safety issue related to that means safety and precaution to be taken during welding operation. In that class I have explained in details about this thing. Okay. So there what I generally discuss, this smoke which is generated, that smoke generated depends on how the flux composition. Flux composition in the sense, what happens, you have observed that in SMAW welding process, over the surface of the electrode, there is a what is called flux cover. Okay, flux cover, which is generally not a metallic part, you can say. Sometimes metallic flux cover is also available. That related things I have explained actually in SMAW welding process itself. So that flux, when it's burned, generally it creates some gas as well as some smoke. So this gas and smoke is depends on the flux composition. Generally, whatever the flux we use, it's create a very toxic types of fumes or gas. Okay, that is definitely harmful for us. What I'm telling, understand? That's why it is better to wear proper what you can mask, proper glass, gloves. So for doing welding operation, there is generally very well designed, you can say, or well widely applicable mask as well as gloves, then gloves. So different things are available. So you have to wear these things. What I'm telling, understand? Otherwise, that will be definitely harmful to you. This you should keep it in mind, because in details I have explained in that lecture itself. So you go through this thing, definitely this smoke is harmful. But what happens? A small amount of smoke is definitely not that much of harmful. What I'm telling, understand? But it is better to avoid those things to inhale, as well as is this smoke can create some water, some eye problem also, as well as yeah, you can say breathing problem also. So be careful actually to avoid those smoke and other things. But again, I am telling this smoke is fully depends on the composition used in flax. Okay. So some flax generally can generate very high toxic fume. Some flax can generate low toxic types of fume, but fumes is definitely a toxic one. Okay. Muttushami, what is the role of voltage as well as current during? This is a very good question. Actually, again, Muttushami, you will get everything in details in physics of welding. I have already explained in details. I am just giving you the answer of this thing. Generally, welding voltage has one role, welding current has another role. You see, generally, you should keep this thing in mind. Welding voltage, what is called welding voltage? First of all, you should know. Welding voltage means the voltage difference between electrode and workpiece. Whatever the voltage difference you got, that voltage difference you can tell as welding voltage. And at the electrode region, whatever the current you got, that generally current, you can say whatever the supply current from the power source is there, that current is itself is called some minor loss is there, that current is supply current itself is called welding current, that you can say. Now you see, this welding voltage means it has a very important effect. You should keep it in mind. Welding voltage, it generally have an important effect. Higher the voltage, always you should keep it in mind. Higher the voltage, higher should be the gap, because you know that Ohm's law. Ohm's law generally V is equal to IR. So V voltage is equal to current into resistance. Then this resistance is further depends on what? Resistance is proportional to L and it's inversely proportional to A, cross sectional area. So resistance is depends on length of the arc, as well as resistance is depends on what? Cross sectional area of the arc. So higher the voltage, what does it mean? Higher the voltage means your arc length, you can say, for a uniform cross section of arc, you can say, for a uniform cross section of arc, you can say. So this is the arc. I am just showing, then it will be more clear to you little bit. So you see, this is the arc, correct? Now you see, if this length increase, then let this length of the electrode increase. So you see, your arc length will increase, you can say, and your arc spreading also will be taken place. Arc will be bulge out little bit, you can say. So due to these things, what happens? Initially, your arc length, if it is less, then your less or less spread arc you will get. So your weld width will be, you can say, less. If your arc length increase, that means initially your arc length was L1. Okay, but after that, generally let us consider your arc length become L2. Okay, this is your L2. So you see, as L2 is more than L1, that's why you see your arc spread is more during your L2. So in this case, whatever the width of the weld zone you will get, that width of the weld zone generally is increased. So you can say arc generally welding voltage has a effect to increase the width of the weld bit. That you can say. It has some other effect also, but in general, I am just giving you some very fundamental idea. Okay. Now you can think, sir, okay, that means if the length increase and increase, then what happens? Our weld bit will increase and increase. Not like this. There is some optimum arc length, there is some optimum length. Beyond this, generally arc will extinguish. What I am telling, understand? This you should keep it. That fundamental things I explain in this course itself. So you will get detailed idea, very simplified way. What I am telling, understand? So you see, so this is the effect. You can say higher the arc length, higher will be the width of the bit. Bit width will be more. But if your current is more, then what happens? Whatever the electron, whatever the ion, positive ion or negative electron is there, if the current is more, then generally this current create more forceful arc. If current is more, your arc will be more forceful. That means you can say your electron velocity will increase. So if your electron velocity will increase for a particular welding voltage, if you increase the current, then what happens? There occur generally more penetration. You can say depth of penetration. That means if you increase the current, your weld penetration depth, that means depth of penetration will increase and increase. What I am telling, understand? For a particular arc length, for a particular cross section of arc, you can say if you increase the current, your heat generation will be more, as well as more forceful arc will be there. Due to this more forceful arc, generally what happens? Your penetration of current material will be more. This you should keep it in mind. Okay. I think this is very clear to you. Now you see, so what you got the idea about what it's called, what is the role of voltage and current. That means you can say the voltage has a effect on bit geometry, whereas generally current has effects mainly on penetration. What I am telling, understand? Higher the current, more will be the, you can say, forceful arc, or you can say more will be the heat generation on workpiece. Due to these things, you can say there will be more penetration. This is in general I am explaining. Apart from this thing, there are some other fundamental things is there. That things once you'll go through my course, you will get that idea. But this is the main role of welding voltage and current. Voltage has effect on bit size, width, or welding current has effects on penetration. This generally you can say. Ricky Kumar, in case of aluminium, unequal dual electrode positive is less than electrode negative or not? Yeah, that is a very good question, Ricky. Aluminium is a very, you can say, interesting types of material. You can't imagine. Once you expose the aluminium just in open weather or in open air, you will see within a fraction of second itself a shiny layer of, actually a layer of a or a grayish types of layer of what it's called bauxite formation is taken place. That is generally alumina, you can say. That is a refractory types of material. What I'm telling, understand? That is a refractory. Aluminum oxide is a refractory material. You can't imagine the aluminium which has a melting point around 650 degrees centigrade, whereas a refractory material like what it's called alumina, its melting point is more than 1500 degrees centigrade. What I'm telling, under 1500 degrees centigrade. That means its melting point of alumina is very high than aluminium. That's why once you go for doing aluminium welding using TIG welding or any particular types of power source, there instead of using what it's called DCEP or DCEN, we generally use during aluminium welding, that is called generally what? That is generally called alternating current, AC current. Why AC current is preferable? Because whatever the aluminium is formed, alumina is formed, or you can say aluminium oxide is forming during what is called aluminium welding. If you will not use alumina, what is called AC current, then this aluminum oxide will not melt, and it creates some inclusion inside the weld zone. What I'm telling, and this in details I have explained during the lecture of GTAW welding process. In details I have explained there. So what happens? It has observed that during reverse polarity in the sense, the reverse polarity means DCEP, direct current electrode positive polarity. This is called reverse polarity. Okay, during reverse polarity, generally what happens? There is occur a very interesting phenomena during aluminum welding. That means in case of reverse polarity or DCEP polarity, it is observed that due to this flow of electron, whatever the aluminum oxide formation taken place at the surface of aluminum, that aluminum oxide generally breaks. That aluminum oxide generally break down, you can say, and this aluminum oxide generally float as a slag on the top surface of the weld, you can say. What I'm telling, understand? That means that aluminum oxide breaks and it's converted to a slag types of thing. That means aluminum oxide generally does not include or inside the weld zone during reverse polarity. What I'm telling, understand? So that's why what happens during aluminum welding, one of the polarity there should be, that is called DCEP. Now if you use DCEP, then what happens? Bombardment of electron will be taken place on electrode. This you should keep it in mind. So once bombardment of electron will be taken place on electrode, then more heat will be generated on electrode. This you should keep it in mind. Once more heat will be generated on electrode, then if it is a tungsten welded, that means TIG welding process, if it is a tungsten electrode, due to this more heat generation on electrode, and if it is continue for long time, then tungsten electrode can start melting. Then this tungsten also can create some inclusion inside the weld zone. What I'm telling, understand? If it is melt and if it is deposited with weld material, then what happens? It will also create a tungsten inclusion. To avoid this thing, generally we change this DCEP to DCEN. So DCEN, once you will convert it, then what happens? Your less heat will be generated in electrode and more heat will be generated on workpiece. So what happens? That's why during aluminum welding, we generally prefer AC types of power source. Why? If you use AC power, then what happens? In one case, your reverse polarity, or you can say DCEP, will break the oxide, which will be help to prevent the oxide inclusion during inside the weld zone. In another case, due to DCEN polarity, your less heat will be generated an electrode and your electrode will not be melted. What I'm telling, understand? That's why for doing aluminum welding, AC polarity is preferable. What I'm telling, understand? This you should keep it in mind. Okay? This side now, Ricky Kumar, in case of aluminum. Now you see why this unequal dual electrode positive is less than electrode negative. That things also you get, because electrode positive less, if it will be, then generally your chance of what it's called chance of heat generation of electrode will be less. What I'm telling, understand? If your electrode positive will be for a long time, then chance of electrode heat generation will be more time. What I'm telling, understand? Then electrode can melt and it can deposit it. That's why this positive is less than electrode negative. Yes, very good, Ricky. You got the idea. Okay. Ravindra Singh, can we get handout of video lecture? Ravinder, actually handout of video lecture, it is better you go through this video lecture, everything I explain in details. So you make a note. What I'm telling, understand? That will be more helpful, because that will be helpful for revision, as well as that will make a very handy you can say handy note for you. Though I have provided the detailed PDF lecture of this course, you will get everything. But what I mean, it is better you go through my lecture, video lecture, make your own note. That will be definitely helpful. Ravindra, what I am telling, understand? Definitely will provide everything. And layout, that means this PPT is already provided to you. Okay, that will be given to you, all of you. Okay. Satish Kumar, good evening, sir. Akhilesh Kumar asks, sir, on what basis other than oxygen gas is selected in case of gas welding? LPG also used in gas welding. Yeah, I have already. Actually, I think you have gone through this oxy-fuel gas welding techniques. There, I have explained this thing in details. Okay. Generally, what basis generally this oxygen gas is selected, I have already explained, because you see, depending upon this oxygen and acetylene proportion, your flame type can be different. What I'm telling, understand? Because some flame can be oxide flame, some flame can be what it's called neutral flame, some flame can be reduced flame. I have explained in details there. Okay, so once you go through these things, you will get that thing, get that idea, and you will observe that generally oxidized flame has very high temperature, neutral have some other range of temperature, and reduced flame has some lower level of temperature than both oxide flame as well as neutral flame. Now, where this flame is applicable in details, I have explained in this oxy-fuel welding techniques. You will get the detailed idea. Is LPG also used in gas welding? Definitely, in gas welding, LPG also is used. I have already shown you in details. You go through that whole lecture, you will get that idea also. LPG, methane gas. I have also just proprietary gas. I have already explained there where it is used. Generally, that also in details I have explained. Okay, in gas welding, how it is used. That generally its intensity. LPG gas has one types of peak temperature or intensity. Oxyacetylene gas and its pressure. Generally, it has some pressure range also there. Its flow rate generally have a effect on penetration. A lot of things are there. Okay, so in detail, generally, I have explained in this video lecture. You go through this, you will get detailed idea. Akhilesh Kumar asks, sir, where will this exam be? Yeah, exam will be near to your local area only. Because what happens, generally this exam is conducted by TCS. So you will be provided some choice. According to your choice, generally your seat will be allotted. What I'm telling, understand? So you will get as per your choice only, your exam center. Okay. Yeah. Do you have any other question? I think no other questions are there, because all the queries which you have provided here, I already explained. If you have any other queries, you can ask me. Very good, actually. I am very happy to see your interest. You are going through the lecture note thoroughly, what I feel, because to see your question itself, it is understandable that, okay, you are going in depth actually. Sir, in laser welding of ferritic steel, what is the observed microstructure? Very good. Shumit, this laser welding related things I have not explained actually in this course itself, but that is a very interesting question you ask. Because this is generally out of scope of this course itself. Then also I can explain little bit about these things. Generally, laser welding is you can say, a light power beam. Because it's here we, instead of electric arc, here we use generally the high intensity of what it's called, you can say, photon beam. What I'm telling, understand? Photon means is the light beam of light generally here we use to do the welding as well as cutting as well as different other purpose also it is widely used. This is a very advanced welding techniques, because to know about laser in details, laser welding in details, it requires a lot of things. Okay, so if you want to know more details about these things, you can directly contact with me. Okay, because I have some other course on this advanced welding techniques. Okay, where I used to teach laser welding, electron beam welding, so all the advanced welding techniques, ball bonding, explosive welding, then high impact energy welding, friction stir welding. So different welding techniques I used to teach there. Okay, there generally I explain all this thing in details. So if, this is not a part of this course. That's why what happens here. One thing you just should keep it in mind. During laser welding, generally what happens as the beam is comparatively narrower in nature. That's why here you can say fusion zone as well as heat effector zone is much lesser than fusion welding process. These things just to keep it in mind. What I'm telling, understand? Because it's generally what it's called here generally very high intensity beam we generated, and here generally whatever the welding is taken place, most of the cases it is observed that it's generally types of keyhole types of welding process. Whereas in fusion welding process, whatever the welding techniques we explain in this course, here most of the welding generally here generally conduction mode types of welding is taken place. Now you should know what is conduction mode, what is keyhole mode. So what happens to know all these things actually in this course, generally I have not explained in details about all these things. So if you want, you can directly contact with me, Sumit. Okay, you can mail me in my official mail ID. Definitely we will have a very good discussion. What is your point and all the things. Okay, I'll definitely explain in details about all these things. Any other question, anybody? If you have any question, you can ask me. But I am just telling all of you, this course is highly effective, you can say, because in this course you will get the very fundamental things related to welding. As a mechanical engineer, as a production engineer, as a industrial employee, this course will be very much essential. Actually, you can't imagine once you will be completed this course, then you will feel actually what is the requirement of this course, because here you will get all the idea. Because based on this knowledge only you can what it's called, you can do trial and error types of thing, you can improve the quality of welding in actual field. What I'm telling, understand? Because if you know the basic things, fundamental things, because what is the effect of current, what is the effect of voltage, what is the effect of polarity, what is the effect of material, what is the effect of this thing, that things, then what happens, you can design your own things as per your requirement. You can be able to do anything. What I'm telling, understand? You can play by this and you can get a very high quality research. What I'm telling, understand? That's why you should keep it in mind. You go through this course thoroughly, you will get definitely very good idea. And apart from this course, I have another course also, that is welding application technology. There you will get some very interesting other things. Means whatever the things I have not covered in this course, in that course I covered those things. There, that course also will be very much effective, because that also you can go through. Okay, that is welding application technology course. That is also an NPTEL course. You, to see your interest, I am just telling all of you, anytime you can mail me whatever the queries, whatever the what it's called questions in your mind. Anytime you can mail me also. Apart from these things, in this discussion forum also, you can provide your queries. We will definitely give you the solution and all. What I'm telling, understand? So keep this thing in mind. You are always welcome to me regarding any queries about this course. What I'm telling, understand? If you have any other queries, any things in your mind, you can ask me because I'll be here for another 5 minutes. What is the important skill required for welding professional? Yeah, a very good question, Muttashami. Actually, you see, important skill of for a welding professional. Generally, you see this course. After this course, if you go for any what it's called any types of professional skill types of course, like in American Welding Society, they have different certified course. What I'm telling, understand? So if you go through go to their certification, what I'm telling, understand, you will see what is the important of this course, because you can get a very high quality certificate with the knowledge of this course. What I'm telling, and with very easy way. Now, what is the important skill required for welding professional? First of all, the fundamental things. Second one is hands-on training. Hands-on training in the sense, because you see, first of all, you should know what are the effect of different parameter, different thing. After that, okay, once you will just see the welding machine and do the hands-on practice, then only you will be able to understand what actually you will be able to visualize, or you will be able to see what is actually going on during welding process. Then only you will be a very skilled welding professional. Correct? What I'm telling, understand, Muttashami. So hands-on training also is required. Now, once you will have this basic fundamental, during hands-on training, you will be able to capture all the thing very easy way. What I'm telling, understand? Because you will be aware about everything. What is this? What is that? What is the important of this electrode? What is the important of current? What is the important of velocity? What is the important of what is called flow rate? This thing, that thing, everything's in details you will get. So this course fundamental will be definitely required. Apart from these things, hands-on experience also is required to be a skilled welding professional. What I'm telling, understand? Yeah, Muttashami. Any other questions? If you have any other question, anything in your mind, you can ask me. I think no other queries is there. So just I want to say one things. I am just telling all of you, you go sincerely through this course lecture, you will get everything in your exam, and this course will be very much effective and helpful. You can say as a mechanical engineer, or you can say as a manufacturing engineer, as a production engineer, or a industrial engineer. What I'm telling, and this course will be highly effective. That I can say, because here all the things is related to fundamental things only. What I'm telling, and that's why this course is uh, titled like this: Fundamental of Welding Science and Technology. Here you will get most of the fundamental things related to welding physics, welding principle, everything's welding defect, welding inspection. Means in details you will get a very interesting thing through this course, or from this course, you can say. Okay, thank you. I think no other queries are there. So I think we can stop here. Hello?